Namaskar everyone and welcome to Sunday. To truly enjoy this human experience, you need to do so in soul consciousness, in the consciousness of your immortal body. Now, in your everyday awareness, are you aware that you, the one who says I, are immortal? That you live beyond the body? Are you aware of that? And do you carry that awareness as a moment-to-moment experience in the human experience? When we say human experience, we mean that a soul has taken birth in a human creature. In a human creature. And this creature has primal instincts, as I've said to you before. It needs to mate, it needs to eat, it needs to acquire things for comfort. It needs to stake out its own territory. And it is caught up in greed and lust because of this. If you look at the human brain, you will see it's a triune brain. There's a reptilian brain, that's like how reptiles behave. It has a limbic brain, that emotionally driven brain. And it has a neocortex, which gives it the intelligence that we have. And I've said to you before that the soul can express itself in and through this neocortex, allowing us to think in a more lofty way, noble way, and allowing us to experience soul consciousness, to self-reflect, and to experience that we are souls in the human experience. This neocortex allows that. But if we don't ask the question, who am I? What am I? We'll never figure this out. We'll always think that we are a human being, that we are an animal being, that we live, mate, and die. Pleasure-driven and power-driven. So it is necessary to ask yourself that question, who am I? What am I? Am I only this human body? Because some of us like to say, I'm only human. And to err is human. Of course, the rest of the saying is to forgive is divine. So there is a divine part of you. I told you there is a divine impulse in your being when you give attention to it. So we need to come into soul awareness, immortal consciousness, awareness. It's only then you can drive this human creature masterfully. You've seen how a rider of a stallion, when masterfully managing the stallion, as though the stallion and the rider are one. How beautiful it looks. When you see the surfer on a surfboard, how beautiful it looks. If only you can get into the subtle body awareness and realize that therein lies the power of the mind, the power of the heart, the power of vitality in your being, the core power, the fire power. If only you can go in there and realize that you have this power, you'll wake up to a whole new you, a mighty you, a divine you, a spark of divine fire. So do you live in creature consciousness? I am only human. Or do you live in that immortal consciousness of being powerful because you are a spark of the divine? That you can manage your mind powerfully, you can manage your emotions powerfully, you can manage your vitality powerfully, and you can manage your physical being powerfully. This is an earth body. And do you know the needs of the earth body? You're driven by its primal nature, but do you know its actual needs? It thrives with all the processed food. If this body is fed food that is close to nature, it thrives better than when you eat all these processed things that challenge your liver and kidneys and blood. And you can't imagine. And your gut microbiome. You have DNA inside of this body, the human genome. Part of it is for replication of the body. Part of it is for controlling those genes. It's the science of epigenetics. And then you have a whole other part of it that we tend to call the dark one, the dark DNA. But it's not dark, really. It's full of possibilities. It's full of possibilities, so much so that people can do magnificent things if they're able to use soul power to activate those genes. Some people eat no food, breatharians. Some people eat little food and thrive. Some people dive down in the ocean and stay there for about 10 minutes because they grew larger spleens. Dynamic DNA. What possibilities lie in the human experience? If only we can influence the DNA in the body, that we can influence the microbiome, that we can influence the vibrations in every cell, that we can influence the mitochondria in every cell. What possibilities are there for immense vitality, immense immunity, immense healing, miraculous healing? What possibilities are there? But you know, it's a capitalist world, right? With all these big pharma companies controlling things. We are no longer an honest, human-loving world. We have become worse than the worst animals, the most terrible animals. When you look at the war that's happening across our world, and I watch all these lovely buildings being destroyed, and I watch so much civilian casualties, my heart cries, when are we going to grow? When are we going to be humane? We don't need to fight. We don't need to fight. We need to open our hearts to love. And none of these wars really bring peace. They breed more and more war. Peace comes from manifesting more of our soul nature, more heart, more intelligence, less reptilian action, less limbic action. We need to be emotionally intelligent. We need to be spiritually intelligent. We need to realize that we are one. When we destroy something on the earth, when we poison the water, when we make the water toxic, who we are going to suffer? From the fish? From the water we drink, we consume. We will suffer. When we pollute the air, we will suffer. And of course, it's one planet. The air circulates in the atmosphere. The seas meet together. So we need to manifest more and more of that soul consciousness in our world. And do you know what? We have been given the opportunity in every lifetime, because the soul comes into the body in each life. We have been given the opportunity in every lifetime to grow in consciousness. Why do you think we have a lifetime? Why do you think we come into the human experience? To grow out of the ignorance, to lift the consciousness from human to divine. That's why we are in the body. Not to go after power and pleasure and possession. No. That's not why we were born. That's not our internal purpose. It is to grow in consciousness, to become more humane, more spiritual, more together, more in oneness, and more in constant connection with the divine, to be divinely driven. And that's why we were born. And every lifetime is an opportunity. What are you doing with a lifetime? What are you doing with this lifespan that has been granted to you by the universe? What are you doing with it? You think you can live here forever in the body? You think, look at life. It is changing in every moment. Look at it. We are growing old. But we can't stop the process of aging and death. But that's not us. That's in the world. That's why we say that this life is a longer dream. Because everything fades away, just like a dream, your sleeping dream. Nothing lasts except the awareness that you build, the soul awareness, and the soul qualities that you nurture and cultivate. That is what remains in the human experience after you leave. What you gain from here is going to stay with you, the soul qualities. What is your soul involved in? Anger, aggression, unforgiveness, hate, lust, greed, power, possessions. What is your soul involved in? Every moment of every day, you can self-reflect and try to live in a higher consciousness. The goal should be every day to live in the highest consciousness that you have in the moment. And not to be caught in the maya, the illusion of this world, the dream of this world. Not to be caught there, to wake up from it. Only then you can enjoy the human experience. Only then you will help to co-create a better world. Only then our world can have unity. Only then we can have peaceful coexistence in the world. Only if we grow in consciousness. Only if we go beyond the animal nature and nurture our spiritual nature. See what religion has done today? We fight in the name of religion. We destroy things in the name of religion. That's not spirituality. We need to come back to our spiritual roots, to our spiritual being, and every religion teaches that. Well, at least the prophets of the religion, the founders of the religion. Well, they are not even the founders. People organized the religion after they left. We need to follow the path of wisdom and not be fools in the human experience, driven by the primal nature of the body. We need to rise in consciousness. And that's why this blue star exists. For us to come together, for us to converse, for us to practice as we have done today, and to cultivate more and more of the soul consciousness. You know, the great healing mantra that I chant with you in every healing session, the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, is absolutely beautiful. Since I learned that mantra, I've become so well attached to it, but in a good way. And when I chant it, I'm conscious of every word in it. I'm motivated by the power of this mantra. It comes from the Vedas. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Three-eyed. What does that mean? Two human eyes and the divine eye. And we call the infinite. The infinite looks through our eyes too. Every eye. The infinite looks through every eye. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. We worship that infinite one with all eyes. It means all of us. Sugandhim, fragrance. Pushti Vardhanam. May that fragrance from the divine, that pranic energy, that life force, nourishes and helps us to thrive. That's what it says. Urvarukameva bandhanan mrityur mokshya. It says, take away all unhealthy attachments from me. In the same way that the ripened gourd, the cucumber, folds away from the vine when it's ripened, can no longer stay. Let all attachments fade away like that. Even mrityur, even the fear of death, even mortal consciousness, take it away from me. And the last part of the mantra is beautiful. Mamritat. Don't withhold from me immortal consciousness. It is saying to the divine, grant me this with urgency. That's what we need today. Immortal consciousness. Ma amritat. Ma amritat. Ma amritat. Amrita is immortality. And ma is don't withhold it. Ma amritat. How beautiful this mantra is. May you find some time to learn it, to chant it, and to receive the blessings from it. So my message to you is to, as much as you can, come into soul consciousness. Wake up from this mortal consciousness that you are the body, physical body, and come into the immortal consciousness of who you are. The I, the one that says I, never dies. The body falls away. It never dies. That which says I, that which has the power to love, that which creates visions, images, dreams of the future, that never dies. And when it comes out of this body, it takes another one. And it can assume infinite bodies. Know who you are. Don't waste a lifetime away. Know who you are. Wake up from this longer dream of life. Wake up from it and take charge of it. Take charge of it. You are the light, not the darkness. You are the soul, not the animal. That is the human. You are divine. You are eternal. Know who you are. Know yourself. And be free. Freedom only comes when you know all that you are. Have a blessed Sunday, everyone. Namaskar.